Hello, you guys. Caitlin here with the Rising Ranks Digital, and I'm just getting set up because I cannot wait to share with you how to find your core message and one that truly will stand the test of time and that will close in those sales and really, really resonate with your consumer. So I'm going to share with you this diagram that I've created, and it really showcases the questions that you need to be asking yourself when you're talking about your product, your service to your consumer, and what happens when you have a missing piece. So to get the ultimate core message that completely resonates, that completely sells, you need to figure out, first of all, what's going on in your industry. What are the trends? What's one big trend that you either are following suit with, or that you are breaking the mold and doing something different? So it kind of depends on the industry you're in, which direction you take. If you are in an industry where you will not even be considered unless you're at a certain point or doing something that everyone else is doing, then you need to take the route of following suit. If that's not the case, and most of the time it's not, I want you to think about what is in your industry that bothers you. What is it about your industry that bothers your consumer? Think about that, write about that, tell your consumers how you are different and what you're going to be doing differently in the industry. Okay, so which leads me to my next one. How are you different? Okay, so you have these industry trends, and now you are asking the question of how you're different. Great, this is what's happening in this industry, but this is what we're doing. This is how we're different. This is how we're different than the competition. So it's kind of getting into more of your secret sauce of, I'm different because it can be anywhere from your personality to your accomplishments to the current clients you have, all of that. So you need to make sure that your messaging is also answering how you are different. And then I want to know a consumer insight. So you have your own insight, you have your industry insight, and now you need your consumer insight. What lights your consumer up? What passions, what desires, what's their ultimate goal in life? I want to know all of that. What jokes do they think are funny? What's their biggest pain point? Like, where do they really want to go? And what are they struggling with? How are they not accomplishing their goal, and why are they not accomplishing their goal? Really get into the pain points. And that's going to be your consumer insight. And then how are you helping? So great, now you have all these insights, and the pain points, what needs to change in your industry, how you're different personally, but really, how are you going to help your consumer get to their biggest vision, get to where they want to go? We need to know all of that. And if you can answer all of that in your marketing, on your website, when you talk to people on the phone, that is going to close the deal so quickly, because you're going to have such an in-depth understanding of what is going on in your consumer's head and how you can help, of course. So as you can see here, there's intersections. So how you are different in your industry trends, that overlap is going to be your niche, whether it's with your messaging or a new product that you're coming out with. So this is actually pretty awesome, because this really can be used for anything, for a post, for an ad campaign, for a new product you're offering. Consumer insight and industry trends, that is the gap that you are trying to fill. What is missing out there? How are you going to come in and fill that gap? So how are you different, and how are you helping? So that's going to be really how they like, know, and trust you, those together, how you're helping them and how you are different. And then you have your consumer insight, and how are you helping them? That is your promise. That is your big promise. And one of the things that you really do want to lead with is, the promise to them. Okay, so if you have all of these things, but you're missing talking about how you're different, then you have a promise that is not unique. People are not going to understand how you're different from somebody else. They can go down the street and work with that other SEO agency, that other photographer. I want to know how you're different. All right. Messaging without understanding your industry trends. That can lead to a solution that doesn't even solve a problem. Like, that's great. You have this thing, you're different from all these people, but nobody cares about it. Nobody even has that problem. They're, not even on the radar. All right. So if you have all the three except for consumer insight, then that is going to be a promise your consumer potentially doesn't even care about. If you don't fully understand your client and who you want to work with and what their issues are, then you're going to be talking out into space and nobody's going to be listening to you or hearing you. How are you helping? If that is missing, then you have a problem with no solution. So you are just telling people what the issue is and why you're so amazing, but you're not actually saying like, hey, I can actually fix this for you. So it's really imperative that you have all of these together. You guys, thank you for bearing with me. There's lots of distractions here with the dog and me losing my way, but I hope you at least have this and you can take it and at least do a little bit of an audit for your messaging moving forward. Thank you guys so much. If you like this, give it a share, give it a comment. And if you need help with your messaging, let us know.